Maya Angelou famously once said, "If you don't like something, change it. And if you can't change it, change your attitude." Born in 1928, Angelou is a poet, author and professor who has worked as a civil rights activist and has also held a myriad of other professions, including film producer, actress, dancer and even prostitute. But her most important contribution to the literary world is her autobiographical work. This has, often simultaneously, challenged, critiqued and expanded the genre of the autobiography, and featured a diverse range of themes, including racism, identity, family and travel. The word autobiography, deriving from Greek, basically means self, life, right, and the autobiography is a style of writing that must have existed almost as long as the written word. However, it wasn't until the late 18th century that the autobiography became recognised as a genre in its own right, alongside other genres like the romance novel and children's literature. The autobiography genre is usually defined as something like retrospective, factual accounts told by a real person from their own personal perspective, and autobiographies, of which there are numerous famous examples by people like Anne Frank, Malcolm X, Benjamin Franklin, Barack Obama and Steve Martin, usually involve reflections on the developments of the writer's personality, as well as narration of key events in the writer's life. However, Jocelyn Glazier, a professor in the University of North Carolina's Department of Education, has said that readers tend to react to Maya Angelou's work with surprise, particularly when they enter the text with certain expectations about the genre of autobiography. Angelou uses techniques such as dialogue and styles of plot and theme development that are common within fiction but are rarer within the autobiography genre. Angelou's work has been included on reading lists in many American universities and also as high school texts.
The glory for having invented the first light bulb usually goes to Thomas Edison, and it's certainly true that he was the first person who invented a long-lasting, commercially practical electric light bulb, which he first demonstrated in 1879. However, the first incandescent light bulb had already been created by British inventor and chemist Humphrey Davy, who, to do so, passed an electric current through platinum in 1802. Platinum was used due to its very high melting point. Anyway, today it's not so much glory as blame that many people believe should go to the inventor of the incandescent light bulb. In March 2007, the European Union, as have other territories before and since, agreed to phase out the use of incandescent light bulbs due to the facts that they waste around 95% of their energy on heat and that they consume up to 4 times as much electricity as new compact fluorescent light bulbs. Often referred to as CFLs, this new breed of light bulb is gradually becoming the norm and is allowing countries to significantly reduce their CO2 emissions. Replacing all the incandescent light bulbs in Europe with CFLs reduces CO2 output by 50 million tonnes and is equivalent to the benefit of planting 10 million acres of forest. However, CFLs do, nonetheless, have critics. As you may have experienced yourselves, the light produced by CFLs can often be noticeably dimmer than that produced by traditional, old-fashioned light bulbs. You may think CFLs are just too dim, like some others have argued. They are also more expensive, though their cost is decreasing as they become more popular, and some people think they are ugly.
What do we need retailers and wholesalers for? Wouldn't it be better if everyone just bought directly from the producers of a product? There are certainly benefits to be gained by doing just that. I'm not going to advocate that consumers stop buying directly from producers, as commonly happens at farmers' markets, for example. But while there are clearly some benefits to bypassing intermediaries, potentially avoiding price markups, for example, today I would like to run through the benefits of having intermediaries, such as retailers and wholesalers. Intermediaries can promote and advertise products, thereby allowing them to reach a wider range of consumers than they could if just sold by the producer. Retailers and wholesalers, through knowledge of the markets in which they operate, can also help to match quantities produced to the needs of those markets, and can therefore help to avoid surpluses in production. Intermediaries can negotiate prices and terms on behalf of consumers, which prevents the possible exploitation of consumers by producers. And they can also store, finance and transport inventories of stock, which thereby takes the risk of theft, damage and obsolescence away from the producer. Finally, while many people, as I said, believe that when consumers buy directly from producers, it allows them to avoid the price markups necessary for realising the profit margins of retailers and wholesalers, in fact, because retailers and manufacturers pay for so many operations like storage and marketing, were producers to take on all the roles of these intermediaries, the costs of buying directly from them would actually be higher than buying via retailers and wholesalers.